everyone, happy Thanksgiving. It's time to roast our turkey. So unfortunately I don't have an actual turkey, but I do have a beautiful whole chicken, and I'm going to show you just a quick brine which will make your turkey extra delicious. And you're going to want to do this either 12 hours before or up to 2 days before, and it's really easy. I promise you it's not difficult. So what I've got here is my bird, I've got my salt, some brown sugar, and some herbs. So all I'm going to do, this is again so easy, salt into, and you could do this on a plate, in a bag. This is really like whatever's easy for you. So I've got salt, I'm going to add my brown sugar, and I'm going to add my herbs, and I'm just going to mix it together with my hands, just over my little, whatever you're going to put the turkey onto, and it could just be a plate, that's totally fine. But I had a little extra roasting dish, so I'm going to use that. Alright, so this is just nicely mixed together, and all we're going to do is stick our bird in our dish, and this is going to go everywhere. And you just really want to press it in to everything. Don't be scared of your bird. Get it all on the inside too. And again, this is just going to sit just like this in your fridge until you're ready to cook it. So I would do no more than 2 days, but up to that, and no less than 12 hours if you can do it. And we'll just give it a little flip. Just make sure to get all sides. This is going to be delicious. And just really massage it in. Give your bird a nice spa day before you cook it. Alright. That is really nice. Pressed in there. Just really get it all. Oh yeah, how about that? Gorgeous. And as I said, this is just going to go straight in the fridge, not covered, not anything, just like this. And we'll be back to show you how to cook it. Okay, so our turkey has been brining. Off camera, I rinsed the turkey, made sure all salt and sugar brine was off, and then patted dry the heck out of it. This guy has no excess liquid on it anymore. It is a patted dry bird. So, let's get it ready to roast. I've got some veggies, same veggies that we had in our turkey stock. So we're going to chop these a little bit finer, but again, just a rough chop. No fanciness needed here. So I've got my celery, which is going to go into the bottom of my roasting pan, along with the rest of our mirepoix, which again, remember, is carrot, celery, and onion. So just cut this carrot up. Again, I'm just doing a little bit of a rough chop, just a little bit finer than you did for the stock. While you want these to be sort of even-ish pieces, it's okay if they're a little bit rough. So, got our carrot about done. And meanwhile, I've preheated my oven to 425 for this. Now we've got the carrots, the celery, we've got the second half of that onion from before. And again, just give it a good rough chop. In with the other veggies. And last but not least, we're going to smash 4 garlic cloves again. So again, just using the flat of your knife. Give it a little smash. Smash, last one. And remember when we saved the liver from our giblets? Guess what? We're going to toss it in there too. So in goes your liver. And this is going to add the most unbelievable flavor to your gravy. I promise you, just add the liver, you won't regret it. So, our veggies are ready. We now are going to just finish off the bird, and what we're going to do is stuff it. So I've got a mixture of sort of poultry herbs here, which is rosemary, thyme, oregano, sage. You can use marjoram, you can use tarragon, you can use literally anything you want, but that's what I've got, a nice big handful, and that's going to go right into the bird's cavity. And all of this is going to go breast side up on top of our veggies. Oh yeah, just make sure it's nice and even. Now remember, we already salted the crap out of this with our brine. So if you did brine your turkey, don't worry about adding any more salt. If you did not brine your turkey, add some more salt right here. Now, last couple of things before this goes right into the oven is I've got a little bit of melted butter here. It's 1 stick of butter melted, and I'm just going to brush it all over this bird. If you don't have a pastry brush, you can just use a spoon. And like, don't be shy about this. Give her a nice bath in butter. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so good. Alright, our bird is slathered in butter, and yes, I did not use all of the butter. In fact, not even close, but you want to keep this because get some inside the cavity too. You want to keep all this butter because we're going to keep basting it as it cooks, as you'll see. So everything is beautifully slathered. I think use at least about a third of this butter. Because also the butter that runs off of the bird is going to roast the veggies underneath. So you really can't have too much butter here. Alright, this is looking really nice. A little bit more. Perfect. And last but not least, remember our turkey stock? This is what it's for. I'm going to give it a nice big spoonful. Not on top of the bird. I'm just going to go around the sides a little bit, just to add some liquid to the pan, help everything cook. It's like 2 spoonfuls, about a cup. We're going to just keep letting that simmer, because again, we're going to use it for our gravy later. And meanwhile, this guy's going in the oven for about 45 minutes at 425. Let's do it. Okay, so our turkey has been roasting for about 45 minutes at 425 degrees, and it's time to give it another baste, a little bit of love, change the temperature. So I've dropped my oven down to 375, and this is where we're going to stay for the rest of the bird. So remember, we've got our melted butter. We've also got all the beautiful liquid in the bottom of our roasting pan. So we're going to do a couple of things. If you have a baster, phenomenal, use it. If you don't worry about it. But the one time of the year you get to use it is now, so we're going to give it a little baste with the liquid, especially into the cavity, if you can, just to spread all that beautiful veggie flavor around. Ooh. Awesome. So we've given it a little baste, and now I'm going to brush it with even more of our melted butter, because as we said at the beginning, there's no such thing as too much butter. Amazing. And really get now into all those nooks and crannies. Again, just slather it on there. Oh yeah, this is... Guys, I wish you could smell this, but fortunately for you, you're about to be able to smell your own. Oh, goodness. Oh yeah, all up in there. Again, a little bit more into the cavity. Alright, so our bird is beautiful and slathered again. And at this point, what we're going to do is put it back in the oven at 375, and we're going to turn it, so whatever way you had it in before, rotate it like 180 degrees, just so you're getting all the different parts of your oven hot in all the different parts of your bird. And then what we're going to do is about every 10 to 15 minutes, you're going to do this again. Give it a little baste, give it a little brush with butter, until the thickest part of the breast measures 150 degrees. So I hope you have your meat thermometer. If you don't, the way to test this is to take a knife and to push it right here into the thickest part of the thigh, basically until you hit the bone, and you're going to push down a little bit. And what that's going to do is allow the juices to run out, and you want those juices to be clear. You don't want them to be pinky, you don't want them to be cloudy, you want it to be beautiful and clear, just like the gorgeous stock in this pan. It should be clear. Alright, so we're going to go back in the oven for another 15 minutes. We're going to baste again. I'm not going to show you all of this, but I am going to show you when we take it out for the last time. So let's do it. So our turkey is out of the oven. It is beautiful. It is golden. It smells delicious. And now it needs to rest. So that's the key thing about turkeys is, yes, it's cooked, but you really need to let it just rest on its own. So that's what we're going to do first is just carefully, with as many tongs as you got, take it out of the pan. And we're just going to put it right, you can put it straight onto a cutting board that's got like the gravy divots around it, or just right onto a sheet pan. And that we're going to cover with foil and set aside. For a turkey, you probably want to leave it for almost an hour. With a chicken, it could be about 10 minutes, but a turkey, you really want to like let it rest and do its thing. So, we'll cover it. And we're going to set it aside. And that leaves us with all of these beautiful drippings in our pan, which we're going to make gravy out of. So, I am literally going to take this whole thing and pour it into this pot. And I'm going to use this hand immersion blender to blend it. You can also use a regular blender. You can also just strain it and use it as is, or like mash it. There's so many ways to do this, but I like it this way. So, don't make a mess. Blend all those veggies. Until it's nice and smooth. And part of the reason I like doing this in a pot is because, as you can see, this is pretty liquidy. So we're going to let it just sit on the stove while our turkey rests. It will thicken up a little bit more. That liver that we had in there will also help it thicken up. And this gravy is going to be the best gravy you've ever had, I swear. If your gravy is too thick, if you do not have all this liquid, add a little bit of your turkey stock. The rest of that stock you can strain or leave as is and keep it in the freezer for another time. You can make some leftover turkey soup the next day with your leftovers if you have any. But this gravy is phenomenal. I mean, you can see how thick and delicious it looks. And that's the gravy. So I'm gonna let our turkey rest before I carve it up. We're gonna have all the rest of our beautiful side dishes and our lusciously rich gravy, and this Thanksgiving is gonna be one to remember.